Welcome to the Rusted Garden. Today's January 20th and this is my pop-up greenhouse that I did a series of 6 videos on to show you how I set everything up, and you can check that out if you want to see how I've kept this growing really through, as again today, January 20th. My goal was to grow greens through the winter here in Maryland Zone 7, and the biggest issue was how do I battle the 10-degree nights, and I was able to do that. This is how it's going on with this project, so I just wanted to show you what it looks like real quick. And I'll show you the whole process to how I got to here. I'm going to fill up the containers, I'm going to plant the seeds and do all that kind of stuff. But I think this is going to work out. Levels of greens, different stages of growth, all doing really well. I've got beets in there, endive in there, red lettuce, onions. This looks like a dandelion, but it's not. It's a form of endive. Lots of lettuces back in there. More endive, arugula. Here's some onions that are starting to come in. Over here, same type of stuff. The most interesting thing over here is the cilantro. It's doing really well. I've been using that for salsas. I've been picking it. Back there are radishes that I let grow, and one of the interesting things for winter greens is the radish leaves don't get those little sharp prickly things on there, so I've been eating those and they're actually really delicious. That was something I discovered accidentally. Sunday, November 9th, and you can see the right side of the greenhouse has a lot of condensation on it. I also want to talk about how do you manage the heat that builds up in the greenhouse during the day, as well as the cold. I was just talking to you about how the frost came and formed ice out here really well. And most important question I got was, are you really eating out of there? Yeah, and I am taking out lots of greens pretty regularly. They're just growing well. They're not growing fast, but they're growing well. And here is what I'm going to be eating today. So that's a pretty hefty bowl of greens. I'm going to mix that in with some romaine, store-bought of course, but I'm going to mix it in with that. But you can really effectively grow greens all season long in Maryland Zone 7 with a pop-up greenhouse of this type. The biggest factor that I think made a difference was that it's only 3 feet tall. I used aquarium heaters in the 5-gallon buckets that are in there, and I sealed the inside so that no air could really come in with bubble wrap, and it's made a huge difference. I also have back here, why I'm talking about it, is a painter's canvas, so when the nights got down to 10 degrees or less, I just put that canvas over the top. It kept everything in here warm. Again, if you're watching this for the first time, these type of greens can take a freeze, so sometimes the temperature inside would get down to 22 degrees, the leaves would freeze, but come next day they would defrost, they would be fine. So you can only really grow vegetables that can take a freeze in this type of setup. Hopefully it gives you some confidence to give it a try now or maybe next year, but you can definitely have greens all season long here in Maryland Zone 7 with a 3-foot pop-up greenhouse. Please check out my blog at www.therustedgarden.blogspot.com and also check out my YouTube videos. Thanks.